Hello everyone and welcome back to my first video of 2025. I know I said I wouldn't really do these types of gun review videos on YouTube anymore, for the most part because of how hostile YouTube has become with these types of content for the past year or so. And this is probably going to be the last one I do for a very, very long time, for the coming years most likely, because of just I don't see it as very worthwhile to pursue this anymore on YouTube. And there's other websites I know, but I'm not interested in those for the most part, and the know-how and the ins and outs of getting affiliated with those communities and whatnot. But that's enough of that. So, this right here is a Stoeger Coach Gun. It's a 12-gauge side-by-side, and it is in black synthetic. And I'm going to be reviewing this today and giving you my thoughts on what I feel about it. Let's go. Okay, so here it is. It's 36 inches long, 36.5 overall length in total. So that's a 20-inch barrel like there, see? And the overall weight is 6.5, so 6.5 or 6 pounds, 5 ounces. So very lightweight, especially with the polymer. This is not wood. Some of them have wood and are painted black. This one is plastic. It is synthetic, not wood. So let's see, you got your little like checkering there for gripping on your hand, and it feels nice. It feels very compact in your hand when you hold it. It feels very lightweight, very snappy when you kind of swing it around, which I won't do obviously. But now with the new YouTube stuff, I can't show you myself pressing the safety. You can't take that off anymore, so I'm gonna have to like do jump cuts, so it'll be a little weird. But basically, you have your little lever right there, and you can only do it on your right side, so you have to push it right. If you push it left, nothing's gonna happen. It only goes right, which is kind of weird, but you can tell it's definitely like designed it only as for a right-handed person. So it's a little bit weird. If you're left-handed, you're gonna have to kind of like fight with it a little bit, but it's not as bad. But definitely for a right-handed person. So only has one bead front sight. Does not have like a fiber optic or anything. Some of them do. The double defense does. This is just the regular Coach Gun, so it does not have the fiber optic or any kind of fancy sight. It's just a bead. So, but it looks nice. So, cocks it open. There, and then you just okay. So I took the safety off, but I won't show that on the YouTube video. So you would just put your thumb up, but I won't do that on video. And this is the double trigger version. You can see there, it does have 2 triggers, not one. Some of them have one. You would just pull it twice. This one has 2, and the right one is for the front one is for the right one, and the left one and the back is for the left one. So right, front right, and then left would be the back one. So that would work out like this, like that. Yep. This one doesn't come with any kind of like sling mount. It's just plain on both sides. So there's no way to put it on your shoulder. And the way you take it apart is very easy. So what you would do is just this little lever right here, and you push it down towards your feet, and then you just pull it off, and it's got like a little mouthpiece there, and it comes right out, and then you do the motion. You see the little hook there? That's where it hooks in, and then you just do the motion like you were breaking it open, but instead it comes off. So now you have these 2 parts are pretty small, and then you have the handguard, which you can take the whole thing apart and put it together whenever you want. So you can put it in like a bag or something, and it's very easy to carry around with you. One of the problems with this, though, I'm gonna warn you about, is when you first get it, it doesn't say in the manual anything about this, but it's got like these 2 little lips here on the bottom for the hammers, and sometimes as you are assembling it, those could get pushed downward. So what you'd have to do, because you would not be able to put the barrels on if you do that, or it would interfere. You can technically do it, but this would not be able to engage because it would be blocked and you'd be just butting against it, so you wouldn't be able to put it together, which when the first day I got this, that confused me. And then I looked it up on the internet on YouTube, and there's a lot of people having the same exact identical problem. So it's a little bit tricky there, but what you do basically if you have that problem is you just push it down against like a hard surface like a table or your floor, and you just kind of push it in. You'll hear a click, and then they'll both click in, and then you can put it back together. And it's very easy to do that. You don't have to push the lever or anything. Okay, so that literally just happened to me right now because I pulled the trigger before the hammer's now engaged. I'll actually show you that later, but just to show you for now. There you go. Now it's going to engage as it should be. And take this, and it slaps right in, and it's back to being normal again. So there it is, kind of leaned up against the door. You can get a kind of sense of scale. It's not very big. Obviously, it's not the smallest thing in the world. There are like KSGs and crap like that have basically half the length of this, and there's ones with foldings and stuff. This is just a more simple design, but it's, as far as like a brake action full size is concerned, it's pretty small. Very lightweight though. It feels very lightweight when you pick it up. Very narrow. So next to the cat for scale, you can see that it's not super big, not very wide overall. Here's what it kind of looks like when you're looking as if you were actually holding it. So pretty narrow overall. Definitely a lot less bulky in real life than like you see in the games and stuff. They kind of exaggerate the size, but in real life it's really not that big or heavy. I can very comfortably hold this with one hand. So now I'm going to show you the thing you do when these hammers get engaged basically, and you can't put it back together. So as you can see right now, I will show for demonstration that they are not cocked. So what you have to do is, there's two of them right there obviously, and then you basically put it against any kind of solid surface. You don't want to put it against something that's like spongy or squishy, or it's gonna kind of roll around. You want a firm grip on it, and you point it down against the surface, and then you just push. And it could be a little weird sometimes since I'm doing it with one hand. I don't have a tripod. Here's one of them, and then the second one. There you go. That's both of them. So now both of them are engaged. You want to be careful, you don't want to scratch up too many surfaces, but I'm not particularly worried about that. So now I'll show you how to do it all over again. So we're ready to go. Just take your piece and you put... Yeah, I was kind of fumbling last time because when it's not cocked, you can tell immediately. Now that's like zero effort. Yeah. Now you take your handguard with, again, the little mouth on the bottom, and it just goes right in to where those hammers are and engages with that part. Clicks in. Doesn't make a very loud click, but it does click in, so that can kind of throw you off sometimes. And there you go. Now it's good to go. Very simple, very, very easy. Anybody can do it. It's just that first break-in period when you get it the very first time, and the manual doesn't tell you any of that, like intricacies of stuff like that. That's how you do it. That's how you do it, and it's really not hard once you know the ins and outs of it. Very simple. It's 3 parts really. There's no mechanisms to go wrong. One of the big advantage with that is if you have a pump or even like a semi-auto, and it's got more moving parts, it's got more stuff inside of it. That's the big thing that can go wrong. Is it's not common. A lot of them are still very reliable, but this is the most reliable because there's really nothing ever that can go wrong besides some mechanism within how the hammers are communicated to the trigger. But that's, if you're going to argue with that at any point, then anything can malfunction. So this is the least likely out of all of them. And I really did want the wooden one with the walnut. parts are wood, and then they even have the Supreme, which is with chrome on it, so it's got a chrome barrel and then 2 pieces are wood, and that's a really classic, really nice looking one. This is a kind of cheaper one that's all polymer and all black, and then they have some that are black and with a walnut, but I went for this just for simplicity. And you know, synthetic is not going to warp in humidity, even though it's not very warm here. It's not going to warp or have too many problems like that. So if you live in a warmer place, this would be a good option. And yeah, just by holding it, you can see how compact it is and how simple the operation is. And I'll do it really fast for you. So you can do it pretty fast. I do prefer the double trigger just because I like just having that. You know, some people prefer single. I like the double. And I know because you'd want to see it. That's what it looks like. So, pretty cool. What are my thoughts on this thing, and why would you pick this guy instead of, like, again, a pump or a semi or something more quote-unquote modern? And the simple reason is, for me, I would consider myself very casual when it comes to all this stuff. You know, I'm very casual with it. I'm not really deep into it. It is a serious thing for me, but it's also a lot of a fun thing. And I mainly buy things that are, to me, would be fun and would be mechanically interesting or have something interesting about them. But I still think, even today, this is a very good option for somebody who wants a more serious purpose, like a home defense purpose or something like that it's a personal protection purpose. And a lot of people, especially now in 2025 and so on, for whenever you're watching this, would overlook this type of style of shotgun, you know, side-by-side break action, one by one, either it's over, under, or side-by-side, you know, or they even have triple barrels. Regardless, break action, a lot of people consider to be a 20th century, 19th century design, outdated, that type of thing. And I don't really agree, because number one, the reliability is what you get with this. The really only disadvantage is, you only get 2 shots, which a lot of people would call low capacity, but you have to remember, with your buckshot in each one, you get about 9 to 8 pellets per shot. So that's totaling up, you get about 18 shots in one go that are all coming out very fast. You can get them within a second of each other, fraction of a second if you're really good. And that's not low capacity to me. That's a very, very high volume. So there's that to be said, the reliability, the simplicity, you know, for people who are not experienced, just the fact that you can break it apart and it's literally 3 parts. So very maintenance friendly on top of that, very unlikely to break down. I mean, it's virtually impossible to get a malfunction with this guy here. So, and again, just the fun factor, the fact that it's a more casual friendly design is something I think that has real value. This is a very value affordable gun as well. It's not gonna, you take a lot. Obviously I can't list prices because of YouTube and whatnot, but a lot of these types of side-by-sides can get very, very, very expensive, especially get to the really like decorated, ornate ones with the hammers and stuff. This one doesn't have that problem. It's just a very affordable option for anybody. And, you know, legality in all kinds of places where you wouldn't be able to get something like a semi or a pump even, this, not a problem. And that's something that is not to be overlooked. So I hope you enjoyed the video and what I had to say. Like I said in the beginning, this will probably be, for at least now, not forever, one of my last videos on the subject of this type of thing. And let me know what other types of videos you'd like to see. Thank you.